You're not free. You've never been free. And the terrifying part? You've been convinced that you are. Every choice you think you made, every path you think you carved, every belief you think is yours, was handed to you, pre-packaged, labeled, sold, approved, and you took it thinking you were awake. But what if I told you that the system you're in is so complete, so total, that you mistake your cage for a kingdom? You wake up, check your phone, scroll, scroll again, sip coffee, plug into traffic, clock in, nod, smile, obey, work, repeat. You think this is normal, but it's not. It's programming. And like all good programs, it's invisible. You were born into a script, a social code passed down like a virus. Go to school, get good grades, get a job, find a partner, buy a house, retire, die. That's it. That's your freedom. The so-called American dream. But dreams end, and you never realized you weren't dreaming. You were asleep. The Matrix wasn't just science fiction, it was prophecy. It was truth wrapped in metaphor. Because reality has to be veiled if you want slaves to believe they're kings. Look around. Look closer. Why is everything designed to distract you? The news, the drama, the dopamine-charged apps. Why is your attention always being auctioned off? Why does silence feel like a threat? Because when you sit in silence, you begin to see. And seeing is dangerous to those who built this cage. The Matrix isn't a future. It's now. It's this world sanitized, manipulated, digitized. A place where illusion sells better than truth, where your identity is constructed by algorithms, where rebellion is aesthetic, where freedom is brandable but not livable. They've made you believe that questioning is dangerous, that conformity is comfort, that convenience is worth your soul, and you agreed. You chose comfort over clarity, numbness over depth, screens over scars. But here's the crack in the wall. Every now and then, you feel it, don't you? That itch in the back of your mind. That whisper that says this isn't real. That voice that screams in crowded rooms, none of this matters. That quiet dread when everything is going right, yet you still feel empty. That's your signal. That's the glitch in the Matrix. You were meant for more than this loop, but escaping it isn't easy. It's not dramatic. It's not cinematic. It's brutal. It's lonely. And it demands one thing: truth. Not the kind you find in books. The kind you bleed for. The kind that strips you bare and leaves you gasping. The kind that ruins your comfort and reveals your programming. Are you willing to see it? Because if you are, you'll start noticing things. You'll notice how everything is designed to keep you distracted. Entertainment that pacifies, not awakens. News cycles that manipulate, not inform. Opinions that echo, not challenge. You'll see how you've been trained to chase things that don't matter: status, validation, followers, likes, while your soul shrinks quietly in the background. You'll notice how the system never wants you still, never wants you silent, because stillness is rebellion. In stillness, you remember who you are, and who you are is dangerous. You are not your name, not your job, not your roles, not your resume. You are the awareness underneath it all, the consciousness behind the mask, and that self, the real you, terrifies the system. Because it can't control a man who has met himself. That's why the Matrix must keep you numb, because once you feel deeply, you start to question. Once you question, you start to break patterns. Once you break patterns, you become free, and freedom is contagious. They don't fear revolution, they fear awakening. And yet most people will never wake up. They'll scroll until they die. They'll argue about politics on screens while their real lives rot in the background. They'll believe the illusion because it's easier, because it hurts less, because it means that they never have to confront the horrifying truth. That they wasted their one shot at life, playing a role they never chose. And if that doesn't shake you, then you're not ready. But if it does, if it stings even a little, then maybe, just maybe, something inside you remembers. Remembers that this isn't all there is, that beyond the algorithm, beyond the distractions, beyond the noise, is a self that was never meant to be domesticated. That self is waiting. But it won't wait forever. You'll either numb yourself back to sleep, or tear off the mask and face what's underneath. What will you choose? So you sit there, scrolling, liking, watching, consuming. A slave to the system, but not shackled with chains. Chained by comfort, distraction, and engineered dopamine hits. Your mind, plugged in. Not to wires, but to illusions carefully curated to keep you numb and obedient. You laugh at the idea of being a prisoner, but you haven't made a single original decision in years. Your reality is rented, your opinions installed. You're a product being sold your own compliance. The Matrix warned you. That reality, as you perceive it, is just a mask, a facade, a digital mirage. But you didn't listen. You thought it was just a movie. You left the theater, returned to your life, and smiled at the convenience of ignorance. You didn't see the trap because you were raised inside of it. You were taught that truth is dangerous, that questioning is rebellion, and rebellion is punished. So you chose silence. You chose the path of least resistance. Every screen in front of you isn't a window. It's a wall, a barrier between who you are and who you were supposed to become. You were born with fire. Now, look at you. Lukewarm, tepid, sedated. And here's the bitter truth. No one's coming to wake you up. Not everyone gets the red pill. Most get swallowed by the algorithm, their minds reduced to input-output machines. Feed them content, extract attention, convert to profit. You are the resource, you are the battery. But, unlike in the movie, you volunteered for the cage. Think about your life right now. Really think. When was the last time you did something unapproved by the system? Took a risk with no applause, said no when everyone screamed yes. Can you even remember the last time you were truly alone without your phone, without noise, without the crutch of distraction? You've been conditioned to fear stillness because that's where the truth lives. Silence reveals how lost you are. That's why they keep you moving, scrolling, clicking, sharing, liking, not living. You were meant to be dangerous, focused, sharp. Instead, you've become predictable, emotionally fragile, and chronically online. The system doesn't need you strong, it needs you weak. That's the only way it wins. And here's where it gets darker. The Matrix isn't only digital, it's psychological, spiritual, metaphysical. It's the invisible hand that molds your beliefs, your fears, your desires. It tells you what success looks like, what happiness means, what love should feel like. It feeds you lies wrapped in pleasure. And every time you choose comfort over truth, you tighten your own leash. It never needed to control you with violence. It just needed you to stop thinking. The Matrix thrives on your disconnection from others, from nature, from your body, your soul, your pain. You don't feel anymore. You simulate feeling. You chase dopamine spikes, not meaning. You perform identity instead of building one. And they reward you for it. Every like, every follower, every trend you mimic, it's another injection of sedation. You think you're free because you can choose between Netflix and Hulu, between TikTok and Instagram, between red team or blue team. That's not freedom. That's the illusion of choice. Real freedom costs more than you're currently willing to pay. Because real freedom is terrifying. It means solitude. It means rejection. It means asking questions that have no comforting answers. It means destroying the false version of yourself that everyone else approves of. It means pain. And that's why most will never wake up. They'd rather die dreaming than live awake. But maybe you're different. Maybe something inside you is still alive, burning, waiting, screaming. Maybe you've always felt that itch, that tension, that knowing that something's not right, that this isn't how it was supposed to be. That quiet voice inside you. It's not broken. It's buried. The Matrix didn't erase your soul. It just put you to sleep. And now it's time to make a choice. You can keep scrolling. You can dismiss this as overdramatic philosophical nonsense. You can laugh, shrug, and return to your scheduled programming. That's what they want. Or you can begin the most terrifying journey of your life. You can question everything. You can strip away every lie you've swallowed. You can face the void and walk through it. Because on the other side of that fear, that pain, that death of self, there's something the system can't touch. Real awareness. The kind that can't be marketed, sold, or packaged. The kind of freedom that doesn't look like rebellion, but feels like resurrection. It's not loud, it doesn't announce itself, it doesn't trend. It's silent. It's cold. And it's focused. If you're still here, still watching, then maybe you were never really asleep. You were just waiting for someone to remind you. The Matrix wasn't fiction. It was a warning. And if you don't wake up now, you never will. So break the pattern. Shatter the illusion. Burn the mask you were forced to wear. Let the world call you insane. Let them misunderstand you. Let them fear you. Because the moment you reclaim your mind, the system loses its grip. And that's when you finally become dangerous. This is Phyllis Spiral. Wake up.